Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Trudy London. This is the case of the Idaho. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. May the four victims rest in peace. Condolence to the families. I hope the correct justice will be served someday. This is 1122 King Road from the back side of the house. This is allegedly the sliding door that the suspect or suspects entered from. DM said that there was a bit light, but she's wrong. It was completely lighted from when the crimes happened right up to at least 6-7 weeks later. The light was on and there was a security guard guarding the house, if you remember. DM's room is not far from the sliding door, and the sliding door is quite loud when people open it and close it. I've shown you all that when Hunter was opening the door and Kaylee for the noise complaint. What I'm trying to say is DM would have heard somebody opening the sliding door. And she herself said that she's scared because she lives on the back side of the house. She's put plants on top of a window. So if she's scared, that means she would be extra aware. As a human being, when we are scared, we get into a panic mode. We keep on watching our surroundings. We keep on listening to if we hear noises. I wonder if Molly saw DM. She saw a young female on the window hiding herself, like ducking and then showing her face and then ducking down. I hate to say, was the person doing the action of the drilling, the crime? It just sounds so disturbing, but anything is possible. Why would somebody be going up and down, up and down? This is only my theories. I would love to know where Kaylee was sleeping that night. Because we were told that Kaylee moved out of her house, but everything was inside her room. She still did not leave. Her bed looks like somebody was sleeping on it. It looks like somebody got up and just threw their duvet aside. It would make sense if Kaylee was sleeping in her own room because she has a dog. And if Kaylee and Maddie wanted to sleep in the same room, it would be much easier for Maddie to move to Kaylee's room, because Kaylee's room is one of the largest rooms in the house. She has a veranda. And her puppy Murphy would have needed space. So could it be possible that Kaylee wasn't dancing downstairs like Dylan said? Maybe Kaylee was sleeping or trying to sleep in her room, and then she heard people allegedly attacking Maddie. So she ran to see what was going on, and she was unalived and thrown on top of Maddie. Trigger warning, I hate to say that, but these were the rumors from the beginning. I'm not saying it's right at all, but this is what was said, and it would make sense. No matter if Katie was thrown, God forbid, on the bed or on the floor, how did she end up in Maddie's room? Kaylee seems to be a very intelligent young woman. May she rest in peace. Kaylee looked very sharp, on point, clean. She loved to dress. May she rest in peace. So why would Kaylee, who's a neat, clean girl, be dancing in a filthy place in the living room? I believe it's all made up. If you pay attention closely to all these reports, you will notice that everyone seems to be distancing themselves from Kaylee. It sounds like Kaylee didn't even attend this university. They don't talk about Kaylee. They all say we don't know Kaylee. What was going on? How did Kaylee manage to buy the SUV, the Range Rover? I understand she could be working. She could have taken a mortgage, but she paid $7,500 up front. That couldn't just have come from a coffee shop that she works in. It is possible, but something's not right. And especially the way the unalivings were done, it's always made me think, follow the money. When money and drugs are involved, believe me, people have no mercy, no empathy.
News on the Idaho murder case. A couple of sources with knowledge of the investigation have told News Nation some details that up until now we did not know. Let me lay a few of these details out, but I do want to warn you that this is graphic information and it is uncomfortable to hear this because we're talking about innocent kids who were killed in that home back in October. And not only that, this is evidence that likely will come out in court at some point. Whether it will be germane to who the killer is or not, that remains to be seen. But it could be evidence nonetheless. With that in mind, let me let you know what these sources have told News Nation. Number one, they told us that the victims, Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan, were killed first, and they confirmed that Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle were killed on the second floor afterwards. And these are some of the other details that they have released. They said that Ethan Chapin was killed in the doorway of Xana Kernodle's room before the killer set upon Xana. The sources say that it appeared Ethan had stepped partly into the hallway where the attack may have begun. These sources also say that Ethan Chapin suffered a slash to the neck. But I have to say that both of these details are in direct conflict with what the coroner had originally told us right here on this program exclusively. And also, they conflict directly with what police have said as well. And those two facts that are in conflict are that all of the victims were in their beds, according to police and the coroner. And according to the coroner, all of the injuries were stab wounds and not slash wounds. So I just want to play for you exactly what it was the coroner said in her words. Were any of them slashed? Were any of their necks cut? Or were these all puncture wounds?
Well, it was a pretty large knife, so it's really hard to call them puncture wounds, and they were definitely stabbings.
Can you tell me, when you say that they might have been sleeping, were they found in beds?
Yes.
So this was in the beginning of the case. Ashley Banfield put this out as a breaking news that one of her sources basically told her that Ethan Chapin, may rest in peace, was found on the doorway of Xana Kernodle. He was partially halfway out of the room. And I've heard that so many times. So if Ethan was found on the doorway of Xana, then clearly DM and BF would have seen Ethan before Xana. These people are just lying, in my opinion. And you heard what Ashley Banfield said. This was 2 years ago. This was like maybe 2 months into the case, a month into the case. She said that it will definitely come up in court, but there was no court. So I wonder if this report is going to come up, or did they just change not only the timeline, the locations where they found Ethan and Xana. It's not like we are coming out with information that doesn't exist. This was from News Nation. I'm not saying they're the best sources, but they're the mainstream news. So where was Ethan found, and why isn't DM telling us the truth? So if we go according to the theory that leaked from the grand jury, that Ethan was found on the doorway of Xana Canoodle, that would make sense. How come BF and DM are just saying that they saw Xana? They never mention Ethan. If you thought you saw Xana on the floor, wouldn't you approach her, or wouldn't you knock the door to tell Ethan that Xana's lying on the floor? Pay attention, you can see from here. There's a lot of red liquid on the floor. How did DM miss this? She lives on the same floor with Xana. Doesn't make sense. The officers that entered the house, Gunderson and his crew, said that it was an overwhelming smell of red liquid. And DM is telling us that she did not sense anything. She did not see anything. She did not hear anything. But yet again, she saw BK. Let's not forget that. She's trying to tell us she saw the suspect. He had to have a weapon in his hand, unless he hid it. He looked right at her, and he decided to walk on. That doesn't happen. BF and DM, why would he let you be alive? Unless he knew which rooms he was supposed to go in. When DM was asked in the last interview with Vicky, when she was asked about the house, she said that she believes that only a person who has been in this house before could have done these crimes. Isn't that strange? So the person had to know the layers of the house. BK has never been in this house. He's never set a foot in this house, as far as we know. There's no motive. Was the residence the target? Let's not forget this was the party house. People used to come and buy rugs from here. Was Ashton Couch involved? Emma Bailey? And Demetrius? They unalived a young man, Caden Young, and they got away with it. Rugs and money could really get ugly. And a crime of passion too. Trigger warning, guys. Is DM trying to tell us that she didn't see this? Although they blurred it out, we can see the red liquid. Look at the floor. And the door is wide open. And I read the reports. Allegedly, Hunter went and took the pulse of both Ethan and Xana. And he was still saying one of them were unconscious. He knew that they were DEAD. Trigger warning. When you look at this picture, you can see the red liquid drops here and there. For me, it looks like somebody was carrying the weapon after they were done, and the knife was dripping. What do you think? But there is too little blood, red liquid, at this crime scene, in my opinion. So DM is trying to tell us she didn't see the red liquid. Whether it was Ethan or whether it was Xana, she saw somebody on the floor. Why did she call for help? She even said she's surprised that the suspect did not come to her room and past her room. He passed her room, or they passed her room, because she wasn't the target. Neither was BF. This was about these 4 victims. She said Xana was wearing all black. Is it because they saw Xana in black on the floor? There is a black hoodie here. Were they really doing Adderall or was it planted? There's nothing I trust in this case, because these poor victims are already brutally unalived. Anyone could do anything or plant anything because they had 8 hours. Let's not forget that. I think the 2 blurred places, the one on the left-hand side and the one further in, is Xana and Ethan. You can see a tissue with red liquid. I've shown that before. Isn't it strange that Kaylee had on 1 sock, and you see 1 sock in the living room? She had on 1 shoe, and there's 1 shoe in the living room. Were these victims attacked while they were undressing? What was actually going on? DM clearly said that she thought it was Shawalter who did it. I wonder why. Let's not forget that DM knows Shawalter from Boise, Idaho. They went to the same high school. What I find strange is if you know somebody and you went to the same high school, would the first thing that come in your mind be that Shawalter? She thought that Shawalter did it. I wonder why. DM knows Shawalter. BF was sitting on his lap. We have pictures of that. Both the Jacks had red liquid evidence found in their house. So I find that to be concerning. The fact that Jack Shawalter and Hunter both said that they don't know Kaylee is strange. What was Hunter doing in that house every day? Was he using the vacant room? I'm going to be blatant, but they're selling rugs in this house. Something was not right. They were attacked for a purpose. And let's not forget, the prosecutor, William Thompson, said in the beginning, it's not the victims that were the target, it was the house. He said the resident. And the mayor said it was a crime of passion. If you put all that together, it clearly shows that many suspects with different motives, I believe they all came together and did this evil act. Right from the corner club, Banfield, everywhere, these girls were being spied on, in my opinion. You even heard them yelling, "Stop it, stop." Just in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe.